the room that you're in, whether it's with the team that you have or with your, your peers as you build your business or as you move through your life. There was a little video that Carrie Dickey showed, and it was about a servant leader. A servant leader enables growth in others. And that's really what empowerment is enabling that capacity in somebody else to rise and succeed and thrive on their own 2 feet. Becoming a servant leader requires authenticity, honoring potential, not only those of the person in front of you who's a leader, but your own as well, and connection, and really being willing to get connected with people, to get real with people, to hear people. And if anyone saw Seth and Mark's presentation about getting to know people, and I really liked their process of the invite around befriending and being real and really caring and letting that be the point of entry. That what if I told you I had something that could help you with? That means you already know where they're at and what you can help them with. So you're empowering them to make a choice to become a leader in their life. And then the final question is, what do you want to accomplish? And I think that that's not only something we need to look at in terms of our business and the goals that we set for the money that we want to make and the ranks that we want to achieve, but what do you want to accomplish with people in general? How do you want to be remembered? How do you want to have people talk about you? And once upon a time in my career of studying and learning things, there was a practice that we had to write our eulogy. How would people talk about you on the day that you died? And I think it's a really interesting thing to stand at that perspective and look back, and how does all of these things that we're doing as leaders translate to that story that's going to be told about who we are. I want to say one thing about that piece of connection. I thought this was so fundamentally key, and I am totally a victim of it in terms of texting. Email and text information, not communication. If you want to talk to somebody about anything besides the details or the time of where something is or when we're going to connect next, then you need to pick up the phone and you need to call them. And across the board, I think any text that is that long should not be a text. A text should be that long, and that should be it. And if it's volleying back and forth, then somebody needs to pick up the phone and say, hey, let's just work this out, because this is it's ridiculous. I really appreciated her saying that, because it makes this business come back to the roots of what it is. It's a person-to-person business.
And sometimes when you're sending a text like that, you don't know the feeling or the emotion that was put behind that, and you can almost make that up and oh, this is what that person meant. You know what I mean? And they're like, no, not really. But you're not even talking to that person, so you don't know where it's actually coming from inside their body. So sometimes our mind goes there and it's like making something up for that person that texted you, and that wasn't the intention at all. So I think that's helpful by doing that. Then you know exactly where they're coming from.
I think the last piece that I'll say is we all have to dig deep. What's inside of us, and who are we really, and who do we really want to be? Not just in this business, but in life in general. And I think that if you're aspiring to be a leader, or you're wanting to excel at being a leader, then you have to be willing to ask that question of yourself again and again and again and again, because we're all evolving and we're all growing. I had the opportunity of being with my team at convention, and I was so excited that there were 3 women that I enrolled in the business to come with me, and I learned so much about being a leader by being able to be in this shared space with them and watch their experience and see the moments where I was too big and tried to lead by doing it instead of stepping back and letting them do it. And there was really powerful opportunities to see how the littlest pieces come into place in this process of leadership. And so, sometimes people say, oh, you're a great leader, Talassi. I say, well, I'm the longest standing Pro 1 in this room, guaranteed. So it's interesting to see, how does leadership translate, and how do I continue to define myself by what I know to be the leader inside of me, and not necessarily by the external qualifications. And that comes back to, I have to be me, and I have to be willing to dig deep inside of myself and see, what is it that I'm committed to, and why am I committed to it, and how does that unfold for me in my life? And so I think that goes across the board for all of us to really claim our leadership in all the venues that we offer leadership in this life, because anywhere you're walking into a room, you have the potential to be a leader. So,
I like the quote, though, there was a quote that she kept saying, you know, we're bad before we're good, and we're good before we're great. And it's so true. You're going to feel your way sometimes through it, but that's being real, and that's just the way it is.
And just because I'm a stretcher, everybody up and stretch. I love that too. And Mark and Seth, get up, get out. Oh yeah.
Every night.
Not every 2 minutes.
Does everyone have all this?
Yes, thank you.
If anyone wants those questions, you can ask me too.
That was very helpful. How do you follow that? How do you follow any of this, Nick? You just get up and do it. That was really great, you guys. All of you have been really inspired. Do you have to go?
She stayed.
Okay, then you come up here. Aaron, you come up here too. And then you go.
Jackie's gonna go instead of Aaron.
No, I need them both. I need both. Before we start with the skincare regime, just a couple things I want to say. I've been in Life Vantage for about a year now, huh, June? About a year? About a year, yeah. Okay. How many people are directly in this business because of June Mine? Stand up, please. Or hold your hands up, something like that. Who is directly or indirectly, they're in their downline? Who is not? Who is not what? Aaron? Daisy. Who is directly in this business because of me? I think we got a leader in our midst. Well, I'm not worried. I just keep buying stock. Listen, I'm just joking. I'm starting off with a joke. I am buying stock. I'm just showing you that people have figured it out. The Dooleys have figured it out. This young lady right here has figured it out. So has this young lady. The only thing we're doing different, and the only reason I'm finding out that I'm not in a position where my daughter is today, with a whole team of my people here, is because I haven't been following the system. I spend a lot of time on the computer with my other work, so I don't really want to go on there and learn. I want to learn in the classroom. I do well learning with people. Julie texted me last week. She said, why don't you ask Sarah if you can be in on some of the sizzle sessions that she's having with her team right after convention. Before she was away, she was with Tessa. And I said, okay, and I texted Sarah, and Sarah sent me back one word. She's precise. She said, absolutely. And she gave me the list of the sizzle sessions. I went. I sat down with Brittany, with Aaron, and with Dooley, and we made three-way calls. Guess who was doing it all wrong? There's going to be a call today at 4 o'clock if any of you feel you're doing it wrong with a Pro4, Roy, and our organization to teach you how to do the invite. I've been practicing what he taught me yesterday, and I've got 4 people in front of the information already. The key to our success, people, is duplication. Sarah and Dooley, and where did she go? Lauren. Have really caught that, duplication. Did I say?
Kristen.
Thank you, Kristen. Where are you? Anyway, they caught that, and they're teaching it to people, and we need to catch this, yeah? So I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the Dooleys, because I'm not in that money line, for helping me to see that. At one sizzle session, we learned how to do the invite. I went to the second sizzle session. It was at Hemingway's. I went right upstairs because I thought, we've had our meetings there. And I stood there and I thought, I don't know any of these people. And I turned around and walked out. I was at the wrong meeting. Our meeting hadn't started. It was downstairs. But I noticed in the flash that one person in that meeting used to be my retriever systems person. And I'm no longer with that system. But I saw him and I thought, And there was one piece in that group hadn't had her auto ship for 2 months. And I thought, okay. So I sat down at the big chair at the end because it was comfortable, and I was walked out on my legs. And I just gotten back from convention. And when I sat there, everybody started to kind of pour in. And Julie came in, and I had a meeting at 9 o'clock with my dentist. And I said to Julie, will you do a three-way with me with this? And he said, sure. I called my dentist. He wasn't there yet. I called 3 minutes later. He wasn't there. He was there, but he said, can you ask Jai to call me back on Monday morning? I haven't had time to get in front of the information. I really want to, and I will. We'll have our meeting Monday morning. So I was kind of off the hook with that one for that moment, but Julie was there. He was with another person who was just coming in his own group, and he said, absolutely, Jai, I'll do that. Other people came in, he started working with other people, Jen started handing out information, and I felt, wow, you know, I'm a part of something here that's really huge. These people have no reason to train me. They have no physical reason to train me, but I'm a part of a group, I'm a part of something really big. And I really, really loved it, and I really got a lot from it. When I walked out of there, I called my upline. Well, this was the last day of the month, and our upline was all moving up. Well, I didn't know that, really. I mean, I didn't know exactly what was happening, because there was a lot happening with a lot of people. And I got a hold of Sam Flake. I was trying to get anybody on a three-way, because that other person that came down the stairs, Jeff Millen, I want to get him into business. Why not, huh? That's what we're all about. So I said, do you have time to watch the video? Yeah, I'm going right home, 20 minutes. Okay, I'll get in front of your computer. I'm going to send you a link. Is that okay? Oh, can you give it to me now? No. But let me know when you're in front of your computer. I'll call you. Because this is what I've been trained to do. One, you know, short section by Roy. So when he got in front of his computer, I gave him a call. And I said, have you watched it yet?